Few names in history carry the weight of legend like Napoleon Bonaparte. From a small island in the Mediterranean, he rose to dominate Europe, shaping the course of nations and leaving a mark that still echoes today. His story is a testament to the power of individual will. This is the saga of a man whose ambition knew no bounds, whose brilliance on the battlefield was matched only by his political acumen. It is a narrative woven with threads of genius, relentless drive, and the unyielding pursuit of power. We explore how one figure could so profoundly alter the destiny of a continent. Napoleon was born on August 15, 1769, on the island of Corsica, just months after it became French territory. His family, though of minor nobility, was not wealthy, instilling in him an early drive to excel and prove his worth. This Corsican heritage would shape his identity. Sent to mainland France for schooling, young Napoleon often felt like an outsider, struggling with his accent and facing ridicule from his peers. Yet these challenges only fueled his determination, pushing him to immerse himself in his studies, particularly in mathematics and history. He devoured books on military strategy. He entered the prestigious École Militaire in Paris, where he honed his skills in artillery, a branch of the military that was rapidly gaining importance. Here, his natural aptitude for strategy and leadership began to shine through, even in his youth. He displayed an uncanny ability to grasp complex tactical problems. Despite his reserved nature and Corsican roots, Napoleon's intellect and fierce ambition made him impossible to ignore. He graduated early, commissioned as a second lieutenant, ready to embark on a career that would soon redefine warfare and statesmanship. The world was about to witness his extraordinary ascent. The tumultuous years of the French Revolution, beginning in 1789, provided an unprecedented opportunity for men of talent, regardless of birth. The old order crumbled, opening pathways for those with skill and daring, and Napoleon was perfectly positioned to seize this moment. He saw chaos as a ladder. As a young artillery officer, Napoleon's quick ascent was remarkable. The Revolutionary Wars demanded innovative leadership, and he delivered. His keen understanding of terrain and troop movements set him apart from his more traditional colleagues. His tactical genius first truly shone during the Siege of Toulon in 1793. There, he devised a plan to capture key strategic positions, leading to the city's fall and earning him a promotion to brigadier general at just 24 years old. This victory marked him as a rising star. By his mid-20s, Napoleon was already a celebrated figure within the French army. He was admired for his daring maneuvers, his fearless leadership under fire, and his ability to inspire his troops. His reputation for decisive action grew with every engagement. He understood the psychology of warfare, often appearing at the front lines to rally his soldiers, sharing their hardships. This personal connection, combined with his strategic brilliance, forged an unbreakable loyalty among his men. He was a leader they would follow anywhere. In 1796, Napoleon was given command of the French army in Italy, a force that was poorly supplied and demoralized. Against overwhelming odds, he faced the powerful Austrian forces and their allies, who had long dominated the region. It was a daunting task for a young general. Yet, Napoleon secured stunning victories, employing innovative tactics like rapid marches and concentrated attacks that bewildered his opponents. His campaigns of 1796, 1797 are still studied today as masterclasses in military strategy. He transformed his ragtag army into an unstoppable force. These triumphs solidified his reputation as a military genius, not just in France, but across Europe. He dictated peace treaties, redrawing maps and establishing new republics, demonstrating a political acumen that extended far beyond the battlefield. His name became synonymous with victory. The Italian campaigns were not merely military successes, they were master strokes of propaganda. Napoleon carefully cultivated his image, sending dispatches back to France that exaggerated his victories and highlighted his personal bravery. He understood the power of public perception. Through these carefully crafted narratives and undeniable battlefield success, Napoleon transformed into a national hero. He was seen as the savior of France, a symbol of hope and ambition in turbulent times, eclipsing even the Directory that had appointed him. His popularity soared. With Europe largely subdued, Napoleon then set his sights beyond the continent, leading an expedition to Egypt in 1798. This audacious campaign aimed to disrupt British trade routes to India and project French power into the East. It was a grand, ambitious gamble. Though the military objectives were mixed, Napoleon used the campaign to project French scientific and cultural progress. He brought scholars, artists, and scientists who made groundbreaking discoveries, including the Rosetta Stone, alongside his soldiers. This showcased a different kind of conquest. However, the campaign faced severe challenges, most notably the devastating naval defeat at the Battle of the Nile by Admiral Nelson. This left Napoleon's army stranded and isolated, a stark reminder of British naval supremacy. Yet he managed to maintain his mystique. By 1799, France was once again embroiled in political turmoil, with the Directory proving ineffective and unpopular. Napoleon, sensing opportunity, secretly returned to France, leaving his army behind. He arrived to a nation yearning for strong leadership. He orchestrated the coup of 18 Brumaire, a swift and decisive seizure of power that dismantled the Directory. With popular support and military backing, he established a new government, the Consulate, effectively becoming the ruler of France. His political genius was now undeniable. As first consul, Napoleon consolidated his authority, bringing stability and order to a fractured nation. He reformed the legal system, the economy, and education, laying the groundwork for a modern state. His vision for France was comprehensive and far-reaching. In a dramatic display of his ambition and authority, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of the French in 1804, in a lavish ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral. This act symbolized his complete control and his aspiration to establish a new imperial dynasty. He was no longer just a general. As emperor, Napoleon's armies swept across Europe with astonishing speed and strategic brilliance. From the plains of Austerlitz to the fields of Jena, his victories reshaped borders, dissolved old empires, and forged new alliances. He was the undisputed master of the continent. He established the Confederation of the Rhine, dismantled the Holy Roman Empire, and placed his relatives on the thrones of various European states. His influence extended from Spain to Poland, creating a vast, albeit fragile, French-dominated empire. Europe was his chessboard. Major victories like Austerlitz in 1805, where he decisively defeated the combined Austrian and Russian armies, cemented his reputation as the greatest military commander of his age. His tactics were revolutionary, his execution flawless. He seemed invincible. Yet, this relentless ambition and the continuous wars, though initially successful, began to sow the seeds of his downfall. The constant conflict drained France's resources and fueled resentment across Europe. The cost of empire was mounting. The continental system, his attempt to economically cripple Britain by blocking trade, proved largely ineffective and harmed European economies. This policy, along with his insatiable desire for expansion, created a web of enemies determined to resist his dominance. His reach exceeded his grasp. The disastrous campaign in Russia in 1812 marked the beginning of the end for Napoleon. His grand army, numbering over 600,000 men, was decimated not by battle alone, but by the brutal Russian winter, disease, and scorched earth tactics. It was a catastrophic miscalculation. Returning to France with a fraction of his forces, Napoleon faced a united Europe determined to overthrow him. After a series of defeats, he was forced to abdicate in 1814 and was exiled to the small island of Elba in the Mediterranean. The empire had crumbled. However, Napoleon shocked the world by escaping Elba in 1815 and returning to France, rallying support for what became known as the 100 Days. He marched triumphantly to Paris, reclaiming his throne without firing a shot. His charisma remained potent. His final stand came at the Battle of Waterloo in June 1815, where he was decisively defeated by the Allied forces under the Duke of Wellington and Field Marshal Blücher. This crushing loss ended his ambitions forever. The dream of empire was extinguished. Captured by the British, Napoleon was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, far from any chance of escape. He spent his final years there, reflecting on his life and dictating his memoirs. The once mighty emperor was now a prisoner. He died on May 5, 1821, at the age of 51, his passing marking the end of an era that had profoundly reshaped Europe. His death, like his life, was shrouded in mystery and speculation, cementing his place in history as an enigmatic figure. Napoleon Bonaparte's life was a whirlwind of genius, ambition, and drama, a narrative that continues to captivate and provoke debate. He was a man who rose from obscurity to command an empire, leaving an indelible mark on the world. His impact was undeniable. He transformed Europe, not just through conquest, but through lasting reforms. The Napoleonic Code, his comprehensive legal system, influenced civil law across the globe, establishing principles of equality before the law and property rights. It was a monumental achievement. He inspired both fear and admiration, a figure of immense power who could command loyalty and strike terror into the hearts of his enemies. His military innovations and administrative reforms laid the groundwork for modern nation-states. He was a force of nature. Napoleon remains a figure of profound contradictions. Brilliant yet flawed, heroic yet ruthless, a liberator to some and a tyrant to others. His legacy is a complex tapestry of progress and destruction, enlightenment and oppression. He defies simple categorization. His story reminds us that ambition, when coupled with extraordinary talent, can build empires and reshape civilizations. Yet it also serves as a powerful cautionary tale, demonstrating how unchecked ambition can ultimately lead to catastrophic downfall. The echoes of his reign persist. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to explore more amazing stories with us. See you in the next video.